Hi there, this is Chris. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great. Today I want to talk about the Tamron 17 to 28mm f2.8 for Sony E-mount. It's this guy right here. This is a great lens that I got for free. I get to keep it, but this is my own personal opinion, and I'll tell you honestly what I think about it. I normally shoot only video with this lens and with my Sony camera, so everything I'm going to tell you is mainly based on video experience. I'm going to start with the specs. I'm going to review them, tell you what I think about those, and I'm going to tell you why I think this is a great lens and who should buy it. Let's do it. The maximum aperture is f2.8, and this is consistent throughout, from 17 to 28. This is very useful when you are, like me, someone that shoots video and that needs to sometimes zoom in or zoom out. For example, I love recording my videos, my YouTube videos at 24mm. So I like to zoom in a little bit. The thing is, I also like to shoot at f2.8 to have a shallower depth of field. And this allows you to do so. So that is very good. In terms of size, on the website, they say that this is 99mm, so it's just under 10 centimeters. That is very small for such a wide angle lens. It is small. It is also very lightweight with only 420 grams, which, let me tell you, is very important, especially when you're shooting on a gimbal or when you're going around and you need something lightweight for longer events. The filter thread is 67mm. That is good for one specific reason, and it's the fact that the lens that I'm using right now to shoot this video is the Tamron 28 to 75 f2.8, and that one has the same filter thread, 76mm. So when I need to swap the lenses, I can use the same filters and accessories on both lenses without having to buy the whole park of filters once again. In fact, that is one of the things I like the most about this lens and the consistency between Tamron lenses. It has good chromatic aberration handling, at least in my opinion. I haven't run into any specific fringing or anything that was weird about the footage on the edges and so on. And to be honest, for the price you're gonna pay for this lens, it is more than plenty. It is great. They also claim that there is a low and very extra low dispersion elements inside the lens, which allows to reduce drastically the chromatic aberrations. Throughout this video, I'm showing you examples that I've shot using this lens, and to be honest, you can see there's nothing major or nothing wrong or weird on the edges or on the elements that you're filming. So yeah, it does a good job. The minimum focusing distance with this guy is 19 centimeters when you're wide and 26 when you're zoomed in. 19 centimeters is about this much, 26 is I would say this much. So it is pretty darn close. For filming, I don't normally get that close to my subject, especially when you're shooting wide, because you're gonna have some weird things happening. But if you're shooting photos and you want to get some creative effects, you want to get close to your subject and so forth, I think you can do some good stuff getting that close. So again, that's a pro. Focusing and autofocus wise, well, when you're shooting video, you like to have a good autofocus. Since I'm using the Sony a7S III to record myself when I do YouTube videos, I have a very good autofocus. And this guy does not disappoint. In fact, I've been doing most of my latest videos on this channel using this lens, and the focusing was just perfect. It never lost track of my eye. As for the one that I'm using here, the 28 to 75, they really did a good job on that, and it works just great, actually. It works just great. It does the job as it's supposed to. So now that the specs are out of the way, let me tell you a little bit what I think about this lens based on my own usage and experience. So why is this a good lens? First off, it is great to have a wide angle lens in your bag no matter what, because when you're shooting, for example, weddings, when you're shooting real estate, when you're doing, for example, a construction site. I did a construction site video recently. I'm doing a bunch of those. I'm going to put them here so you can see how it looks with this lens. It is good to have something wide, A, because it's going to make your footage more stable. B, if you're using a gimbal, it's going to really look good. And C, it's going to allow you to simply just put more in the frame. I have been shooting with the 28 to 75mm f2.8 before that, and I did shoot real estate video that I'm putting here, it looks good, but when you get into rooms, it tends to be a little bit too tight. And if you have a smaller bathroom, or for example, a sauna, I shot a sauna, it is better to have a little bit more, stuff in your frame so that you can give the feel and show what's there. And if you don't have enough stuff in your frame, it's not wide enough, it's gonna be a problem. Obviously, if you go under 17, I would not advise to go under 15. 15 would, in my opinion, is like the sweet spot. If you go under that, it's becoming too wide, borderline fisheye, and you're gonna start lying about what's actually there. So 17 is actually very good for those occasions. Same for shooting events, all sorts of events. For vlogging, it's good. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to test this lens, is because 28 is just too tight. 24 is okay, but if you can go a little bit wider when you're doing vlog, for example, and you're shooting yourself here like this, you can see everything that's around you. It's gonna be more stable, and yeah, it's just gonna look great. Another cool feature is the fact that there is an internal zoom. So you see here, when you zoom like so, the front element here moves in and out. Why is that great? Because when you put this on a gimbal, for those that know how it is when you shoot on a gimbal, it tends to be annoying when you zoom in and the thing here just comes out all the way here, and it starts using the motors in a different way. Obviously, in that case, what you do is that you set it to half the zoom of the lens, which usually helps with balancing and not overworking the motors of the gimbal. But if you can have everything done internally, it avoids having differences in weight, and that's gonna help you film better. The consistent aperture, as I mentioned earlier, is great, and it's a premium feature, I would say, for a lens, especially a lens that costs the price this lens costs. So it is something that's absolutely welcome when it comes to filming and to, stops of light and depth of field. What is cool about this lens and the 28 to 75 f2.8 that I'm using currently on this camera is the fact that you cover a whole range of focal lengths. You really go from 17, if you go lower than 17, tends to be a little bit too wide, as I said earlier, and becomes a little bit fisheye, which is great for some creative purposes, but not for the everyday shooter. And if you go above 75, 85 is good for portrait photography and video, that is good, has a good compression. You can go higher than that, but that becomes a tele. And at that point, it is more of a specific type of look, specific type of lens that some people will want to use, but that's not the everyday general person. So the fact that you can go all the way from 17 to 75 really covers the wide range that you're going to need, especially when you're doing video. And that way you can just have two lenses in your bag and it covers everything with an f2.8 aperture, which is consistent all the way. So overall, what I think about this lens is that it is really cool for the price. If you're someone that wants to have a lightweight lens, obviously this is not made of aluminum all around or metal. It's not going to last for 100 years like a Leica lens or even the Fuji lens that, they're more, they're built a little bit more solid, more, they have something to it. That is, I think, something great for anyone and everyone who wants to have a compact, lightweight, very useful and not expensive lens in their backpack. There, I hope I answered all your questions. If you have any other question, write it down in the comment section below and I'll answer as fast as possible like usual. And if you want to see my review on the Tamron 28 to 75 f2.8, it is up here. Just click on it. Like always, keep shooting, keep smiling. See you soon and take care. Bye.